What happens when an entitled HOA Karen parks her fancy SUV on a farmer's land without permission? Let's just say she learns the hard way that private property signs aren't for decoration. Before I start, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? HOA Karen parked on my farm without permission, so I sank her car with an excavator. The fence sign read, "Private farm and no parking." Karen ignored it. She rolled her SUV down my rutted drive, windows up, heels tapping like she owned the county. Cow stopped chewing. The old hound stared, my jaw tightened. I'd swallowed plenty from the HOA. Letters about hedges, threats about garden gnomes, but someone parking on pasture crossed the line. I walked out in muddy boots and asked her move. She smiled that dismissive smile and said, "I'll be 5 minutes." 5 minutes became 20. Karen took pictures for social media, while her SUV flirted with a drainage ditch. The cows inspected her bumper. The hound decided she smelled like trespass. I could have called the HOA. I could have called the police. Instead, I went to the barn, grabbed my raincoat, and climbed into Old Bass, the excavator my grandfather left me with a cab that smelled of diesel and stubbornness. I wasn't angry so much as determined. East Old Bess across the field, tracks whispering over wet soil. Karen was still laughing at something on her phone. I drove near, not to hurt, but to teach. The excavator arm extended like a polite warning. I nudged the earth under the SUV's tires, scooped a careful arc, and dug a shallow moat where last week's rain pulled. The SUV settled, then sunk a bit, bumper-kissing mud. Karen scrambled out, tomato-faced and flustered, shouting about lawsuits. I shut down Old Bess and walked to her, boot sticky with Earth Private Farm. I said no parking. Her outrage sloshed helplessly into the ditch and the video she'd already filmed. When the hoe arrived, the story had flipped. It wasn't about me breaking rules, but about a woman who refused to respect private land and learned consequences come with mud. I left her car there until she paid for a tow. By evening, neighbors who'd long tolerated Karen's antics came by to gawk, not to gloat. Someone brewed coffee. Someone else lent a tarp. Karen's followers left snarky comments and then vanished. The tow bill arrived and she paid begrudgingly. I wiped down Old Bess and went home, mewed on my boots, and a satisfaction that some rules still matter.